Hello folks, Midwest at Fun 50 here. For those of you who are new to the channel, I started running the Valvoline Restore and Protect in my brother's 2011 Nissan Sentra in November of 2024. It was really a Hail Mary attempt to fix a timing chain code that popped up during that time. And there's a link to the video in the description about more on that. But essentially, the timing chain code went away after several thousand miles later. Now, I'm still planning on using Valvoline Restore and Protect. For how long, I'm not sure yet, but we're almost 10,000 miles into using this oil and we're still burning a quart of oil for every 500 miles traveled. I've attacked this oil consumption issue from different angles, including replacing the PCV valve, purge valve, valve cover gasket. Heck, I even replaced the valve cover itself with an aluminum one I got during Prime Day deals for good measure. Throughout the last 10,000 miles, I've also used a series of fuel treatment products, including Techron and Gum Out. Despite these efforts, we're still burning the same amount of oil. Today, I'm going to do a piston soak using Berryman's B12 fuel system cleaner. The hope is that this helps free up the piston rings as to prevent oil from getting into the combustion chambers and burning up. Now, I'm worried about the catalytic converter. I still believe that the Restore and Protect eventually will fix the issue, but I don't know if I can achieve that without causing damage to the catalytic converter. I know many folks, including DIY Dave, who let it soak overnight, if not longer, but what I'm going to do is let it sit for 2 hours and then see how things go. Here's how I'll approach it. I'll open up the spark plug bores, turn the crankshaft pulley to get all of the pistons to midway, pour Berryman's in it, and then fully turn the pulley 5 times before letting it sit for 2 hours. After that's done, I'll use a pump to remove any remaining product from the combustion chambers before putting everything back together. Once that's all done, I'll drive the Sentra around at freeway speeds before coming back for an oil change. All right, we're in front of my brother's Nissan Sentra now. And for those who have been following the Can Valvoline Restore and Protect this car, we're 1,600 miles into the current interval. So essentially, what's going to happen is once we let it soak and close everything up, we're going to have to do an oil change. So that's going to wrap up our current interval. As I take apart the engine, it is a Nissan Sentra, the 2.0, so the intake manifold is covering the spark plug. So I got to remove everything in order to get to that, and I'm going to just put it on time lapse so then you guys don't need to sit through everything. So here we go. I just took a borescope to put it in there to see if all of the pistons are at equal level, and it is not. So this one's higher, this one's lower, so on and so forth. So what we need to do is turn the crankshaft pulley and get it so that it's nice and level. So what we need to do is remove the passenger front tire in order to access that pulley. There's that pulley. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that guy so that get the pistons to be all leveled. The pistons are all lined up, and what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna send this borescope in there and then take pictures for you guys so that we can see what it looks like. All right, with that done, we'll go ahead and start filling this guy up. All right, I put a towel on there, and the next thing what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the crankcase or crankshaft and get it turning 5 times so that we can get some of that fluid moving in there. As you probably noticed, when I poured it in, the fluid started boiling. And the reason why that is because we did this on a hot engine. When I turned the crankshaft in order to get the pistons moving, it squirted everywhere and I got some of it on my body. And so it burnt, it hurt. Make sure that you're doing it on a cool engine. All right, we're about 30 minutes into the soak. I'm gonna go ahead and put a borescope in there so you guys can see what it looks like. I don't think it'll be an awesome shot, but wanted to show you guys anyways. All right, we'll give it another 90 minutes and then we'll close it up. All right, folks, it's been 2 hours. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna use this pump and stick this tube inside the spark plug bore to get all of the Berryman's fluid out. What I'm gonna do next is send our borescope in there and take pictures of what it looks like right now, as well as to confirm that all of that Berryman fluid is out of the combustion chamber. Honestly, just from the look of it, this thing will probably benefit from an overnight soak. The issue is my brother works when I'm not working, and when I'm working, my brother's not working, and so the timing just doesn't work out. But we'll figure out something. All right, with that, I'm gonna close everything up and then start her up. I'm gonna start the engine, and I'm gonna put the microphone and the camera right next to the exhaust pipe so you guys can see what comes out. Based on what I've seen online, I expect it to have difficulty starting at first, and it might take a few cranks in order for it to fully start. Let's go ahead to the moment of truth. That took a total of 3 minutes in order to get this thing started. What I'm gonna do now is drive around and let you guys know what my thoughts are along the way. We are on our test drive now after soaking the pistons for 2 hours in Berryman's B12 fuel system cleaner. I will say it was it was a new experience for me. I never poured anything into the combustion chamber. I think one of the biggest learnings from that is make sure you don't do it on a hot engine. When I poured that fluid into the combustion chamber with the engine hot, it boiled right away. And as you can imagine, something like that can cause some serious harm. Make sure you exercise caution as you're doing this. I mean, I've said it on and on again. I'm not a car expert, and a lot of what I'm doing, I'm piecemealing from what I learned on YouTube and what I hear in the comment section. All right, so as we're driving, acceleration has significantly improved. Engine seems to be running smoother. Engine seems really responsive. Like if I tap on the gas just a little bit, I feel the power. I think one other thing that we've been struggling with on the Sentra is when we're at an intersection like we are right now, the engine idles so rough that it vibrates against that hood stand, that stick that holds up the hood. It vibrates so much that that stand vibrates against the engine and you hear like this soft tapping noise like this, but I don't hear it. Now I'm just driving to the ramp that'll take me on the freeway. But one of the things that I wanted to call out was we typically get around, I don't know, 28 to 31 miles per gallon when we're driving on the freeway. And what I mean by that is we actually have a live reader of the MPG that we're getting as we're driving. When I'm driving on the freeway, it'll read somewhere between 28 to 31 miles per gallon. Now, I mean, you got weather and you got wind and, all sorts of different things that can impact that. But let's just assume all of that. Let's just forget all about that for a second and see if we notice any difference on the MPG. Now I'm turning onto the freeway. All right, we're on the ramp, and let's see. Whoa, did notice a punch just now. Okay, so I'm gonna put it on cruise at about freeway speeds
to see what the MPG is. 36, 33, 31, 31.5. Huh. So not really a good indicator of whether or not it's effective because this is a small sample size, but it's running smooth. It's working really nicely. No smoke in the back is what I don't notice any smoke. I did let the vehicle idle for about 5 minutes in the garage before driving off with it. So perhaps all of the excess product inside the combustion chamber had burnt off, so that we're not burning it off in the freeway or anything like that. All right, we're getting off the freeway now. Wow. Sorry, I'm just gonna say it again. Like, if you're gonna do this piston soak, make sure to do it on a cold engine. Pouring it into a hot engine like that and the product boiling, that could have easily been a terrible situation. If I was just standing just at the right spot, it would have been bad. Aside from that, really happy with this. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna drive back home and then do an oil change. I do have about 1,600 miles in the current interval of Valvoline Restore and Protect, but we're gonna change the oil, make sure everything comes out. And then what I'll do is I'll continue providing the Can Valvoline Restore and Protect This Car update. And I might make a separate series on just this product alone in case we want to supplement and do more treatments. As it stands right now, I'm really happy with the results. I think it'll take time to tell whether or not oil consumption has decreased, but really happy with this so far. And gonna head home, do the oil change, and I'll catch you guys in the next update, okay?
Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. On this channel, I'm on a mission to reach 500,000 miles on my 2021 F-150. Along the way, you can expect regular updates, in-depth product reviews, live streams, and more. Subscribe now to stay up to date and be part of the journey.